Dad. Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at actors who had one significant film role and then bowed out from the silver screen for good, other than maybe a cameo or background role.
They found a third ticket today.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, guess I'll be going now.
Alicia Rhett, Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is still the highest-grossing movie of all time after inflation. One would assume that everyone associated with this epic would have a long future in Hollywood. Well, that was certainly the case for Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable. This would be Alicia Rhett's only screen credit.
I can't stand that Scarlett. If you'd see the way she throws herself at Ashley.
No, that's your brother's business.
Rhett auditioned for the role of Melanie Hamilton, which ultimately went to Olivia de Havilland. Rhett was instead cast as India Wilkes, Ashley's sister.
India Wilkes. What a lovely dress.
Just can't take my eyes off it.
Although her screen time was brief, Rhett solidified her place in cinematic history. Rhett nonetheless wasn't interested in being a star, living out her life in Georgia, where she worked as a portrait painter and radio announcer. When she passed in 2014, Rhett was among the film's last remaining cast members.
And now you've endangered the lives of our men because they've got to India.
I don't think we better say any more.
Thelonious Bernard, A Little Romance. Although this little film featured established stars like Laurence Olivier, the titular romance was shared between two newcomers, Thelonious Bernard and Diane Lane.
Fine. Okay, then why don't we mosey on down here, please? Let me carry your books.
Chances are you've heard of the latter, who's still acting 45 years later and even became an Oscar nominee. Bernard, meanwhile, is best known for playing Daniel Michaud, a movie-loving French boy who falls for Lane's Lauren.
Where are you going?
Venice. Who else wants to come?
Despite picking up a couple of accolades for his performance, Bernard's only other credit was a bit part in 1981's The Boy Soldier. Focusing on his studies, Bernard sought a career in dentistry. He currently lives in Nantes with his wife and kids. Like their characters, Bernard and Lane would bid each other adieu. They'll always have Paris, however.
Forgot what I said.
You said why? And I said,
Because they belong together.
Olga Mironova, Come and See. A lack of established actors only adds to the realism in Elem Klimov's Come and See, one of the most tragic anti-war films ever produced. Olga Mironova plays Glosha, a Soviet partisan nurse during World War II.
Меня зовут Глаша. Глафира. Понял? Дурак.
She bonds with a naive young soldier named Fliora, played by Alexei Kravchenko, also in his first performance. Their early scenes are among the film's only glimpses of hope. We'd say their future seems bleak, but that would imply they have a future together. After a 10-year hiatus, Kravchenko returned to acting and is still active. Mironova lived a private life with no other roles to her name. It's been said that she became involved in choir, but Mironova has left few footprints to follow. Dorothy McGowan, Who Are You, Polly Magoo? After watching Who Are You, Polly Magoo, you might have a few other questions. To answer one of them, no, this isn't a real documentary, but it is a unique send-up of the fashion industry. Polly Magoo isn't a real supermodel either, although she was played by one. Dorothy McGowan modeled for photographer William Klein, who branched out into film with his satire. After playing the titular Polly Magoo, McGowan could have followed the same trajectory as many other models turned actresses. McGowan opted to quietly settle down, retiring from the limelight and having 2 children. She lived into her early 80s, passing away in 2022. In another interesting connection to cinema, McGowan's brother, James, was the inspiration for the lead negotiator in Dog Day Afternoon.
All right, Carmian, keep him back. Oh, he's got a white flag. All right. Okay, everything's all right. Come on. Right, yeah. Okay. Come on out, Sonny.
Danny Lloyd, The Shining. Danny Lloyd was only 6 when he landed the role of Danny Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's 1980 adaptation of The Shining.
It's just like pictures in a book, Danny. It isn't real.
Lloyd wouldn't appear in another theatrical film until the 2019 sequel, Dr. Sleep. Ewan McGregor took over the Danny Torrance role, but Lloyd can be spotted during a baseball game. One might assume The Shining was such a horrifying experience that Lloyd never wanted to act again. While The Shining was traumatic for some actors, Lloyd has fond memories of the production, as the crew shielded him from the scary scenes. Lloyd didn't even realize he was in a horror film at first, because Kubrick convinced him he was working on a drama. Although Lloyd went on other auditions, he left acting behind to become a community college professor and family man.
Talking to Tony?
Is Tony one of your animals?
No, he's a little bit that lives in my mouth.
Eminem, 8 Mile. Eminem might not have been an unknown name in 2002, but the rapper's acting abilities hadn't been tested outside of an uncredited role in The Wash. There were no guarantees that his performance would be able to carry 8 Mile.
No. I'm gonna do it on my own.
Of course, it didn't hurt that the film was semi-autobiographical, with Jimmy B. Rabbit Smith's life mirroring Eminem's. In addition to winning 2 MTV Movie Awards for Best Male Performance and Breakthrough Male Performance, Eminem became an Oscar winner with the song Lose Yourself.
One opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Did you capture it?
Although Eminem clearly didn't leave show business, 8 Mile was essentially his acting mic drop, aside from some cameos as himself and documentaries. Yet, he came close to accepting lead roles in major films like Mad Max Fury Road and The Fighter.
I'm more shocked that people haven't figured it out yet. I mean, it's kind of like I've been playing gay peekaboo.
Gay peekaboo.
Yeah.
Carrie Henn, Aliens. Carrie Henn hadn't acted a day in her life when agents visited her school looking for a young unknown to play Newt in James Cameron's Aliens. Henn's expressive facial features got their attention, and she proved to be a natural.
Did one of those things grow inside her?
I don't know, Newt. That's the truth.
Although Newt is in constant peril, Henn bonded with much of the cast and crew, including the actors in the alien suits. She became especially close with Sigourney Weaver, behind and in front of the camera. Not wanting to grow distant from her family, Henn gave up acting and pursued a career in education.
I just did it a couple times.
While Henn is still teaching, she kept in touch with Weaver, occasionally makes convention appearances, and if a student brings in a copy of Aliens, she's happy to sign it.
Are we gonna sleep all the way home?
All the way home.
Can I dream?
Charmian Carr, The Sound of Music. The eldest Von Trapp child, Liesl, was 16 going on 17 in The Sound of Music. In reality, actress Charmian Carr was in her early 20s, only about 7 years younger than Julie Andrews. At the time, Carr was modeling while attending college. Despite having no experience acting or singing, one of Carr's model friends knew director Robert Weiss. She sent him a photo of Carr, who unexpectedly received a phone call. Outside of some brief TV work, including another musical role in Stephen Sondheim's Evening Primrose, this Best Picture-winning blockbuster was Carr's only cinematic contribution. Carr dedicated her life to motherhood and interior design, taking on high-profile clients like Michael Jackson. The Sound of Music stayed close to Carr's heart, writing about her experiences and participating in retrospectives before she died in 2016.
Franz, who delivered it?
The young lad Rolf, of course.
Father, may I be excused?
Peter Ostrum, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Young talent isn't easy to come by. Fortunately, this film's casting director found 5 golden tickets. Julie Dawn Cull and Denise Nickerson, who played Veruca and Violet respectively, had a few other roles following Willy Wonka. While Paris Themin has worked behind the scenes, Mike TV is his only theatrical film role. Likewise, Michael Bollner has no film acting credits other than Augustus Gloop. Perhaps most surprisingly, Peter Ostrum didn't seek stardom after winning over audiences as Charlie Bucket.
What happened? Did we do something wrong?
The option was on the table, with Ostrum receiving a 3-picture deal. Ostrum walked away from the offer, and although he considered revisiting acting, working with animals as a vet was his passion. Ostrum sometimes wonders about the career he left behind, but has no regrets.
I think it's the most wonderful place in the whole world.
I'm very pleased to hear you say that, because I'm giving it to you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Renée Jeanne Falconetti, The Passion of Joan of Arc. Born in Ponton, France, Renée Jeanne Falconetti was a stage actress when Carl Theodor Dreyer approached her about playing the lead in 1928's The Passion of Joan of Arc. It's been debated whether or not this was Falconetti's first true screen credit, as much of her life remains shrouded in mystery. What can be said with certainty is that Joan of Arc will become Falconetti's legacy. Almost a century later, Falconetti's performance is still viewed as one of the most emotionally raw and agonizing in cinematic history. Regardless, Falconetti was more accustomed to the stage, where she remained for the rest of her acting career. Her death in 1946, much like her life, remains something of an enigma. Yet, she left behind an immortal performance. Which actor do you wish starred in more than one movie? Let us know in the comments.
Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.